Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Well, it's been a busy day of Husker athletics. Let's start with the good news. Nebraska baseball held on for a 5-4 win over South Dakota State this afternoon. Dylan Carey was a perfect 5 for 5 on the day with 3 singles and 2 doubles to go along with 2 RBIs. Sticking with Carey, he was also named to the Brooks Wallace Award watch list today. That award honors the nation's top shortstop. Nebraska women's basketball fell to Indiana 72-69. The Hoosiers closed the game on a 12-2 run, while the Huskers went 1 for their last 7 field goals. Amaya Hargrove finished with a team-high 23 points, while Britt Prince added 20. The Big Red will await their fate on Selection Sunday on March 15th. And finally, shot putter Axelina Johansson was named Big Ten Women's Field Athlete of the Championships today. She claimed first place in the shot put at the Big Ten Championships. The next closest finisher was behind by more than a meter. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
38-35, Nebraska down by 3 points, opening minute, second half. Here's Bryce Sanford, goes up for 3. Got it! Point play chance. Bryce Sanford with a quick trigger nails the 3.
At top, Bojan with 8. Prince with 7, with 6. Top of the key fires, deep right side, Nisley for 3. You betcha! Off the assist from Britt Prince, a CDA 3 for Logan Nisley to end the first quarter.
It's flown out, Ribby double and grounded out to third. Also reached on a fielder's choice. Next to him, oh, that's a deep drive! Left field, off into the overnight! It's gone! 3-run bomb from Chesky! It's now 9-5 and perhaps the dagger in the 10th.
2 out in the top of the 6th. The 0-1 from Malin. And from lines it in right center field, down for a hit. Moore scores, Bacon around third. She will score 2. It's a 2-run single to right field. And Nebraska has a 4-3 lead on Oklahoma State in the 6th.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome in. We've got a full 2 hours headed your way tonight. Lots to get to. And again, lots of sports in action. Going to talk lots of football. Not just spring football, but also Husker flag football. As we're going to hear from the new head coach, the first head coach of Husker flag football, Liz Sowers, here coming up in hour number 2. So I'm excited to get to introduce you to her.
Excited for that conversation, to get to know her a little bit. I know you like to kind of dig into a little bit deeper than just the sports of it. So excited to get to know them a little bit more. And before you know it, that'll be a team will form there. And all good stuff. And when we talked about it with Troy, pioneers in women's athletics, and it's a historic moment. And I can guarantee you 5 years from now, when you see the snowball effect that this announcement had made, with, I think Troy said it too, the number of Power 5 schools that are going to have flag football as a varsity sport, that will grow exponentially here in the next handful of years.
It was also a quarterback day and running back day for availability for spring football with the media. And so I had a chance to chat with all 3 quarterbacks. We'll bring you those conversations here today as well. But going to start here, tough 24 hours.
Do we have to talk about it?
I know, I don't want to. But a tough 24 hours with the loss at UCLA, and then, man, just a heartbreaker for Nebraska women's basketball just a couple hours ago. I had a 20-point lead and heard Coody talk about it, one of the toughest losses since he's been on the air with this program, which has been a long time.
Yeah, look, they got off to an awesome start.
Yeah, I was like, we're going to be planning on talking about it tomorrow. I was making plans for tomorrow.
And it was like 18-5 or like snap of a finger. It happened pretty quick. They scored 29 points in the first half. You had a commanding lead going into the locker room. You had a 20-point lead in the second half. And then whatever happened in the third quarter, and you heard, we listened to the press conferences before we came on, a lot of it had to do with they took away Amaya Hargrove in the second half. They took away the paint production in the second half. If you look at the paint points in the first half, you were plus 10. It was 26-16 going into the half. Then half two was completely flipped. Indiana had a plus 10 edge, 24-14 in paint points in the second half. So what got you out to such a good lead then completely flipped in the second half. And you, even all that considered, you still had your chances late in the final few possessions. And, credit Indiana, they kind of dug deep considering how that game went.
Look, and everybody was saying it. Amy Williams said it in her halftime interview with the Big Ten, or with the Peacock sideline reporter, and then Jeff and Coatney were talking about it at halftime. Indiana's a team capable of scoring in a hurry, and they did. I mean, they got back in it, and and even Gresh was talking about just the series history with Indiana and Nebraska, and just the runs and how quickly teams can overcome the deficits. And unfortunately, it didn't go Nebraska's way today. Now, look, it was a huge storyline if you watch the Peacock broadcast and listen to any of the halftime show and pregame and all of that, just talking about Nebraska being on the bubble going into this Big Ten tournament. We've talked about it, I feel like ad nauseum leading up to this, that Nebraska's a bubble team. And while their resume is pretty impressive, they probably needed one more win to feel pretty safe going into next week. But with the conference tournament being played this week, they'll have to wait a week. So it's going to be a long week waiting, and you just got to hope that there's not a lot of bid stealers here coming up over the next few days.
Yeah, you got to cross your fingers. This is going to be a really, really hard week for Nebraska. You're still going to practice, and you're still going to play in the WBIT. They'll probably be if they don't make the tournament, they'll be a number one seed, which is the female, the women's version of the men's NIT, NCAA funded. They'll be a number one seed in that, so you'll still get a chance, if that's the case, to see them play a PBA. But we all know what the main goal is. It's to be an NCAA tournament team. Their strength of schedule is incredibly high. I'm sure Amy Williams, when they have her next press conference or whatever that media availability, she'll talk about their resume and point to their strength of schedule. You had a big chance here to sort of, in a way, seal your fate, to at least make you feel a little bit better heading into next week and especially the week off. And look, it's one of those things, you didn't finish it. Incredibly frustrating. I think Matt Coatney put it pretty well on the air. It's probably one of the more frustrating games he's ever been a part of, and he's been calling games for 3 decades here at the Huskers. And that's just sometimes how things go. And I think Amy would probably say it too, just needing a little bit more of that killer instinct down the stretch, right?
Yeah.
Even they did a good job on Britt. I mean, she was 2 of 10 in the second half. Between, Hargrove had 19 at the half.
Yeah.
She had 4 in the second half. Prince was 2 of 10 in the second half. So Indiana is clear they made the necessary adjustments, and I guess there just wasn't enough killer instinct to close it out.
So again, the season is not done for Nebraska women's basketball, because they are still, look, the hope is still there that they've done enough to get into the NCAA tournament with the Big Ten Conference, as challenging as it is, and with the schedule that Nebraska has had. And we've talked about the wins above bubble and the new kind of part of the consideration that they've added here the last couple of years, the last couple of seasons with the NCAA committee. That looks good for Nebraska. The strength of schedule, the net ranking, all of that. But the problem is also the eye test and what Nebraska has done. And they have lost, games here down the stretch, which also is not a good thing a lot of times. But there are a lot of things going for Nebraska to still get into the NCAA tournament. I'll say that. So there's still a lot of hope that this team will be an NCAA tournament team.
Yeah.
If they're not an NCAA tournament team, I think that there's a chance that this team will host, probably be a good opportunity to maybe host a couple rounds, maybe even more than that, in the WBIT tournament.
Yeah, they probably would be a number one seed. Usually it's the first team out of the NCAA tournament. the one thing that scares me is when you do the eye test and what have you done for me lately?
Right. This giving up this lead today doesn't help.
It doesn't help the selection committee. Sometimes it's the lasting memories that can either boot you, can get you in or can boot you out. And the lasting memory of the Huskers heading into the week off and Selection Sunday is blowing a 20-point lead and kind of being out of the consciousness of the selection committee. So really tough loss today. There's no other way to put it, right? Sometimes you want to kind of find a way to put flowers around it, but there's really, I mean, you had a commanding lead against a team you should have beat. You're better on paper probably when you put it there. And they've had injuries, right? And they've had people that haven't been available. And Amy talked about that in the post game, but excuses are excuses this time of year. You had a 20-point lead and a chance to close it in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, and you just could not do enough.
I think for me, what's the most frustrating is that that's been a little bit of this team's MO, right? I mean, they have shown that they can play with these teams, and they've built leads, and then they just have not been able to put it away and kind of put the dagger in and, kind of put your foot on the throat and kind of close it out.
I got yelled at for doing that, by the way. I remember I said that once on a football game and I got an email. So people don't like foot on the throat. Foot on the gas is better, I guess.
But, closing it out, I mean, I just think they've shown that they can kind of build a lead and jump out, but it's being able to really close things out because, we've seen it time and time again. I mean, it happened just recently at Oregon. They lost the lead. It's been multiple times this year, and so a little bit frustrating that it happened today when you really needed it not to happen.
Well, there's a game going on right now, Auburn, Texas A&M. You want to root for Auburn. A&M's in that mix to be in that. So right now when I look at the ESPN projections, the latest, it's Princeton, Nebraska, Colorado, Mississippi State, next four in, or that are the last four in. Mississippi State lost today to Florida. Mississippi State's out with that loss, so you can get rid of them. I think Nebraska, there's still, if possible, you need some help. The first four out will be Richmond, Utah, South Dakota State, and Stanford. It's funny to see how far kind of Stanford's programs come. I mean, that's a pretty consistent winner, number one seed. But if you're looking for teams now, and this is the situation you're in now, you got to start to scoreboard watch and root for some other teams to beat some teams and not have bid stealers in mid-major conferences. But you want a Richmond to lose, you want a Utah to lose, South Dakota State, Stanford. You want those teams to go one and done in their conference tournaments.
We need to get an intern to continue to track those for us. Let us know.
His name's Christopher Sullivan.
All right.
Just heard a big no.
We'll probably have Greesh or Coody on next week to kind of give us an update because those guys follow all things college women's basketball. They are the experts. They will have a better feel once this weekend plays out, and we can maybe tap into their knowledge of where we stand before going into Selection Sunday. Maybe have a little bit of a behind-the-curtain expectation of do we feel good, do we not feel good? So we'll try to maybe dive into that a little bit more coming up next week. All right. We don't have time, so we'll save the men's hoops talk here for
we don't have to talk about it.
a little bit later.
I'm good.
So let's go ahead and get to a break because we got to get some quarterbacks on the show here coming up next. So we will play that for you next. We have TJ Latif, Anthony Kandria, and Danny Kalin. So all coming up next for you here on the show. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset. These trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
It's another new year and another exciting edition of the Nebraska Lottery's popular Cash Blast promotion. You know how it works. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. And if your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So start out your 2026 with a bang. Enter the Cash Blast promotion today. 2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. So, Husker football availability today. Glenn Thomas, EJ Barthel both went to the podium. We're not going to play any of those clips for you, but Kyle listened to every single second of the press conferences.
Yeah, everyone.
And we were chatting about it, but you said your kind of big takeaway is something we've been talking about. We already chatted with Coach Barthel about, both of us, but he had high praise for Jamal Rule.
Yeah, which I think is pretty obvious going in. And he had mentioned no Power 4 offers for Jamal Rule. I mean, they were the first one on him. And you know, as soon as Nebraska got on him, then that's when everybody sort of jumped in late to the party. But Jamal Rule is a guy that they have expectations, and I would assume Jamal does himself, that he's going to fight for time here, starting in fall camp, and it all starts here in the spring. But I think that's a guy, when it comes to the spring game, that I'm going to be fired up to watch, because you're going to get a lot of reps in a game like that. But just to see the way he runs, he's built more than just a true freshman, right? He doesn't look like a true freshman in uniform. And EJ said everything that we kind of have seen ourselves in Jamal Rule, a guy that was under-recruited, undervalued. How many of those guys do you see at college football that are just kind of recruiting stories where they didn't get looked at for whatever reason, maybe because of location or whatever, they just pop off in college? And I think Jamal Rule is one of those guys that's going to have a big opportunity to contribute this year.
Glenn Thomas has done such a good job of kind of developing the room and just the overall feel of the room, and doesn't give too much away, you know, in terms of I mean, obviously when the starter is announced, and he'll kind of praise that guy, but he knows the importance of all the guys. And so, just when he meets with the media, obviously very high kind of praise for all the guys, and is good about kind of sharing the wealth with all of those guys.
Yeah, I think Glenn Thomas is really good at his job.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. I mean, it's a guy who worked with Matt Ryan for a lot of years in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons. I got a chance to talk to him a little bit at the Outland Trophy ceremony. He was there introducing some of the guys that were some of the seniors that were being awarded at the banquet. Just a really good guy, but a really good teacher. When you have some of those personalities that are kind of out there and fiery and things like that, sometimes you need a little bit of a different vibe to kind of even things out. I think that's what Glenn Thomas is. I could be wrong on that behind the scenes, right? But at least that's what it seems like.
That's kind of what the point I'm saying is. You got to have the room, right? And I think he does a good job of bringing the room together.
There's just so much information at that position, right? That you got to be a teacher. You got to be a really good teacher. You got to be a grinder on tape. You got to be able to see things differently when you're a quarterback coach. It's the hardest position to coach. It's the hardest position to play in sports. And it's one of the more important positions on this staff. And now you have a different skill set. Most likely, if Kandria is QB1 to start off fall camp, I mean, that's a different type of skill set that you're looking at than what you had a year ago to start fall camp.
All right. Speaking of Kandria, I got a chance to chat with all three quarterbacks. We'll start with him. After he went to the podium, I had a chance to chat with him one-on-one. All right, well, how you settling in here in Lincoln?
Yeah, no, I love it. I honestly think the people here make the place, in the building, outside in the community. The people here are awesome, and Nebraska's amazing.
Well, we've heard a lot about your first visit here and how you won over the staff and Coach Rule, but what do you recall from that visit, and how did they win you over?
Yeah, shoot, I think it was Coach Rule and just his whole staff. Everyone was super caring and just caring to my family, caring to me, and it was just an awesome environment to be in.
What kind of sold you that you knew beyond just, hey, I like these people, but that it was going to be the fit for you?
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing is when you know, right? Like I went on other visits, and when I came here, it just felt right, and I just knew it was home.
So then what about Coach Holgerson and the offense that you felt like, hey, this also fits my skill set?
Yeah, I felt like Coach Holg's done a lot of good things when he was at Houston, when he was back at Texas Tech, and it's super cool that I could fit his offense and do some cool things in it.
Well, how has it been just kind of getting on the field with this team throughout spring practices?
Yeah, man, the offense has been great. The defense, I don't know, the last day they won a day. We've been practicing at a high level. Every group has, so it's been super cool to see the guys go.
How do you go about approaching kind of getting acclimated with a new team in a locker room and kind of being a new guy, but also being in a leadership role like a quarterback role?
I think it's just building a relationship with the guys off the field, right? Hanging out with them, going to get food, doing stuff, having them come into my house, stuff like that. That's a big deal.
Have you found the spots that you like to take guys to get food?
Yeah, so recently Blue Sushi, that's a really good spot, but I'm just trying to explore, get some more spots going.
How about just the wide receivers and those guys and the importance of building the chemistry here throughout spring?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Guys like Quasi, Ja'Cory, Isaiah, Quinn, those guys are awesome. They make plays, and at the end of the day, you got to hang out with your guys off the field, and I feel like we've been doing that at a high level.
Experienced quarterback, obviously. What are some of the things that you're kind of bringing here that you feel like you can take away from your different experiences that can help elevate here at Nebraska?
Yeah, no, I would say my leadership is a big deal. Just being able to lead guys, lead a group of men, and just bringing some juice, right? I always have energy at practice or a workout, just leading these guys and just want to go win games.
I've heard a lot about that juice. Why the comfortability in who you are and bringing that swag?
I don't know. I think that's just me. That's my personality. Just always bringing juice, always bringing energy to guys, because you can't ever play football and be down, because this is the opportunity that a lot of people don't have. So it's a huge blessing.
So I guess, is it just enjoying the game and having fun?
1,000%. Just loving football. That's the main reason.
Has it always been that way?
Always. Yes, ma'am.
I was hearing a story about you already bought a Nebraska shirt before you were here.
So it's so crazy. I accidentally, 3 weeks before Christmas, I'm buying presents, and I accidentally bought a Nebraska shirt, and it ended up showing up, and that's when we got a text from Coach Rule, and we opened it up, and this is crazy. There's no way this is happening.
So it's already being worn, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's crazy.
And then just the playmaking ability too. The speed, all of that. Has that always been a part of your game, and where does that come from?
Yeah, shoot. I honestly don't even – I think it comes from my family, my parents. My mom's fast. She ran track in high school. But I honestly don't think I'm that fast. I think I can move kind of. But, no, I think it just came from my parents.
Your mom, you're giving a lot of credit to your mom today.
Yeah, I know. My mom's – she's my best friend. She's awesome.
What did she think of Lincoln and I guess your parents? Yeah. Just what did they think about the fit for you?
Yeah, no, they loved it. They loved it. It was an awesome time coming here. Shoot, everyone took us in as a family, and that's why I made it official.
So when you're coming here and going through spring, what are goals that you set for yourself that you feel like, hey, I need to improve in this area, going into this season?
Shoot, I think the main thing is just being comfortable in the offense, right? It's a whole new system, whole new verbiage, and just learning everything, being comfortable, and then as soon as you're comfortable, you're playing free.
Do you enjoy that part of it? Because you obviously like playing. Do you like the X's and O's, the film study, all that kind of part of it?
I think that's the best part about it. Because playing the quarterback position is such a mental position, right? It's where you got to know what you're doing outside the grass.
I've seen you around the facility. You kind of a guy that likes to be around, kind of like a gym rat kind of guy?
Yeah, I love being around the facility, hanging out with everyone. It's awesome having everyone in here and talking to everyone.
The quarterback room as a whole, how important is it just to develop the competition and the depth in that room?
Yeah, no, I think it's super important to have a close quarterback room. Right, at UNLV, we were super close. Like, all those guys are my best friends. To where it's like I'm trying to bring that here. Like, we all got to be close for us to go.
So when you close the chapter on spring football, where do you hope this offense is? What are the things that you want to accomplish here throughout the next couple weeks before the spring game?
Yeah, no, I think that the main goal I told the guys was just explosive plays, making plays down the field, and also scoring in the red zone. That was a big emphasis for the guys, but I feel like we've been doing a great job with that.
How excited are you for Husker Nation and just kind of this fan base here? I'm sure you've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I feel like Nebraska has the best fans in the country.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You said amen to the explosive plays.
Amen, Mr. Kandria. I love those explosive plays. 20-plus yard plays, 15-plus yard plays, whatever we categorize explosive plays as nowadays, please, more. And he'll do that with his arm, but also with his legs, and that's what a difference he makes.
So we were chatting. I think you were a little confused. I might have an explanation for the T-shirt deal. Cassidy, who helps us out with social, she said it happened to her. She got a Nebraska shirt that she ordered from Adidas and got like a Texas Tech shirt, and so maybe it was a mix-up. So, but it's still fate that he got a Nebraska shirt.
I tell you what, Al Recker ain't messing that up.
It wasn't from Al.
I know, but I'm saying in the future he's going to have no mix-ups.
Yeah,
he's going to have everything he needs.
If it went from Al, it would not have been a problem.
But that's where I got confused. Is I thought maybe he actually clicked on a Nebraska shirt, and then a Nebraska shirt came. No, I think our hypothesis is that he ordered what could have been a UNLV shirt at the time, and then Adidas sent him the wrong school.
Because UNLV is Adidas too, right?
I'll take your word for it. I honestly have no idea. I assume they are. Because then what else would he be buying?
I don't know.
If not, we'll follow up. We'll have Anthony come in studio.
I didn't want to spend all my time with him diving into why the heck did that happen.
T-shirt gate?
Yeah, T-shirt gate.
All right.
Okay, let's move on. How about TJ Latif? How has spring gone for him? Here with TJ Latif. Well, how has spring ball gone for you so far?
I mean, it's been going great. I mean, when you got good quarterbacks in the room, all it does is amp up the intensity and make practice more fun.
Okay, when the season ended last year and you kind of closed the chapter and evaluated on what you were able to do, thrown into the fire, how did you evaluate kind of what you learned and what you needed to grow on going into this year?
I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, there was a couple ups and there was a couple downs, but at the end of the day, I feel like I matured as a player of not letting one bad play affect the next play, and just, you know what I'm saying, just having fun with the football game, not being mechanical, going out there and just doing what I do, doing what I love, and that's playing football.
I got to imagine it meant a lot to you that a lot of these guys love playing with you. We heard Coach Holgerson saying that a couple of the wide receivers, Isaiah and Ja'Cory, when they decided to come back here, your name was mentioned. What does that mean to you that these guys love playing with you too?
I mean, what else would you want? I mean, a team that loves playing around me. I mean, that's all I can want. That's really why I'm still a Husker. I mean, when you got guys that want to play with you, I mean, that's all you can ask for.
You talked about the room, the quarterback room. How important is just the competition and just having depth in the room?
Man, it's fun. I mean, at the end of the day, we go by a thing called iron sharpens iron. So, I mean, while I'm out there, I'm making the next guy better. If Ant's out there, he making me better. If Danny's out there, we're all getting better just by us being on the field present.
I know you've talked about Coach Thomas and giving you the answers to the test, but as you kind of meet with him now going into year 2, what are some of the things that you guys are talking about? Hey, elevating your game.
I mean, at the end of the day, we want more explosives, and the way to get more explosives is creating plays outside of just sitting in the pocket. I mean, you hear Hogue say all the time, I mean, the first scramble drill is the first trick play of the game. So that's how you just create explosive plays.
The wide receivers, pretty deep, right? And you got a lot of playmakers back there. Some of them you already have chemistry with, but how have you gone about continuing to build that chemistry? And with some of the guys maybe you didn't have as much chemistry with?
I mean, when you got a lot of receivers like that, that just makes the whole receiver room better. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that you got somebody on your tail just makes you want to grind that much harder in what you do. So that's only going to make the receiver room that much better.
Is it hard to not have a favorite when you have do you develop a guy that you feel really comfortable throwing the ball to?
Man, I love all those guys, man. They all know that. I don't got no favorites, man. Whoever coming, whatever receiver's face, we going straight deep.
Well, how have you liked just the way that this offense has progressed, though, throughout these first few weeks of practice?
I mean, from what I see, this is going to be an explosive offense, just from the capabilities of all the quarterbacks. We're all able to make plays off, you know what I'm saying, outside the pocket. We're all able to sit in the pocket and make plays. So that's just going to – I mean, we got a great O-line. We got great receivers. I mean, it's just an explosive offense.
One of the storylines has been about the running backs. What's your belief in those guys in that room and the guys that you have that you're handing the ball off to?
Man, we got, like I said, we got 4 great running backs. And they prove it's not even about proving themselves. They show everything that they can do every day at practice. Kai Nelson is always going to be him, always going to make an explosive play. Isaiah Mosey able to get the ball, squeeze into the hole, and still be able to make a play. He's also able to make plays at receiver too. You got Jamal Rule, who's also able to make plays in the backfield and at receiver too. Then you got Quint Ives, that's always going to get that 4th and 1 whenever you need it. All
right, so it's a full year that you've been a Husker. Well, I guess a little over now. How much have you enjoyed your time here in Lincoln and being a Nebraska Cornhusker? I mean, it's a blessing. I feel like as I look back on it, sometimes I take for granted the things that I'm blessed with. You know, I talk to other guys at other schools. I mean, we're not a lot of other schools aren't blessed as we are with the facilities, with the nutritionists. You know, just all the stuff outside of football. Like, you look at the weight room, it's like we got everything you need, so why not embrace it? How about the brotherhood and the camaraderie in the locker room? How important is kind of building that here in the spring?
I mean, we got a lot of new guys, and for us to have a lot of new guys and the team is that much closer, I mean, it's all you can ask for. I feel like this team is very close, even though we got a whole bunch of new guys. Like, I feel like I'm super close with a lot of the new guys, and that just shows how the brotherhood and the camaraderie has came upon.
He said the magic word, Kyle, explosives.
Explosives. TJ, I don't care if they're 15-plus yard plays, 20-plus yard plays. Bring them on, my friend. I love it.
Also, he looks bigger.
He does. You could tell just by looking at his right bicep. He is. He's a bigger dude. And I'm sure that was a point of emphasis, right? Because if you're going to be a runner for a certain extent, you got to be able to absorb hits. Mm-hmm. And that goes to the strength and conditioning, building stronger, getting faster, all those things that you have to do. That competition, look, I'm sure they're all friendly and all that, but these guys are fighting for a job. So
enhance your grilling game with a Nebraska-made grill from M Grills. Wood pellet and charcoal grills made to last with Nebraska values. Check them out at mgrills.com, a proud supporter of Husker Athletics. All right, got to get to a break. When we come back, we'll hear from the third quarterback, Danny Kalin. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Born with power, tested by time. It's Ford Truck Month. Woo! And this is Ford F-150. Part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. Hop in and drive the Stampede.
Get $6,750 cash or 0 for 60 with 0 down and no payments for 90 days, plus $1,000 cash on F-150.
Get to Ford Truck Month.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
It's another new year and another exciting edition of the Nebraska Lottery's popular Cash Blast promotion. You know how it works. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. And if your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So start out your 2026 with a bang. Enter the Cash Blast promotion today. 2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Lease the 2025 Cadillac Lyriq Luxury 3 for $699 a month for 24 months and 10,000 miles per year. Or receive up to $8,000 in savings on the 2025 Cadillac XT5 Luxury. Shop Woodhouse Cadillac today. With approved credit, tax title license extra. First payment $299 doc fee due at signing. Subject to current rebates and inventory. Stock number KK250401 is courtesy transportation vehicle with 2,649 miles. Stock number KK250527 is courtesy transportation vehicle with 1,323 miles. Offer expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly.
Little 50 Cent bumping back in. Not too bad, Mr. Camden Cone. That's a throwback to like my 8th grade.
All right, we're talking quarterbacks. We heard from TJ. We heard from Anthony. How about a little Danny Kalin? All right, Danny Kalin, welcome back. I told you that in the training table, but always a great interview. I'm glad to get to talk to you again. How has it been being back here in Lincoln?
It's been great. You know, I'm back home where I'm supposed to be. I've been back around my old friends and teammates and coaches, so it's been a lot of fun, and spring ball's been off to a really good start.
Take us through your decision to come back. Why did it feel right to come back home?
Yeah, you know, it was really came down to the familiarity. I think it was a good opportunity for me as well, but just coming back and coming to a place that I believed in and wanted to be at from the start, and you know, I believe in Coach Rule and his staff, and I think those are some of the biggest things that played a factor.
Was it seamless kind of getting back into the locker room because a lot of the guys that you came in with are still here? Was it kind of like old times?
Yeah, it definitely was. I feel like that first day coming back into the facility, I just remember it felt really weird, like coming back because I hadn't been there in a while. But after that first day, it was like I never left. You know, I know so many guys in the locker room already, and it was a really easy transition.
It's funny. I think I remember when you first got on campus, the training table was kind of getting open and going, and your favorite was the acai bowl. Is that still one of your favorites?
I don't have those as much anymore. But no, it's the training table here is great. It's been really good to be back here and use these facilities.
What are some of the experiences that you took away that you're kind of being able to bring back as you kind of come back into the spring and the competition here and throughout spring for practices?
Yeah, I think just being able to go into games, I didn't get to do that when I was here initially. So just having that experience under my belt, I think gives me maybe a little more credibility as a leader and also just helps my game, having played at this level in real games. So I think I've just learned more about myself that, I can play at this level, and it's helped my confidence and my leadership.
What's the importance of the competition and development of an entire quarterback room here throughout a spring?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, quarterback's one of the most important positions on the field, and what I've seen now in my 2 years of college football, you got to have more than one player. And so I just think for all of us to continue to push each other and develop so that we're all ready to play, whether who starts or, whatever the depth chart is, we all got to be ready to play and push each other.
How about the comfortability and throwing the ball around to a bunch of wide receivers? Some of them you've thrown the ball to before, but you like some of those guys that you're able to throw the ball to?
Yeah, I mean, I've thrown to some of those guys even back in high school. But it's been a really fun room to throw to so far. They've been making a lot of plays, especially some 50-50 balls they've been coming down with. Has been really, really encouraging to see from them. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to continue to practice with them.
The offensive line as well. How about those guys?
Yeah, a lot of new faces, but they're blocking their butts off, and they're doing a really good job. And they've also been a lot of fun to be around, off the field and the weight room, stuff like that. They work really hard.
Working with Coach Holgerson and the way that he can tailor offenses to what works best and being that the quarterbacks are all different, what has that been like working with him and kind of figuring out kind of what works best for everybody?
Yeah, he's really experienced. He knows, like you said, how to tailor an offense to whoever's in the game. So, I mean, there's been things where, there's certain plays where it's more of a running play for the quarterback where he'll call it more for Anthony or TJ. And maybe if it's something that when I'm in, he won't necessarily call that same play. It's something more towards my strengths as a passer and a processor. So he knows what he's doing. He's really experienced, and it's been fun to be around him in the spring.
Take us back to that phone call with Coach Rule when you decided to come back.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty surreal that it was actually happening. I'm really back here, I didn't expect to have to transfer, 2 times after my first 2 seasons. It's not something I necessarily wanted to do, but I feel like I'm back where I'm supposed to be, and I'm really excited.
What does that say, though, in this day and age that you guys kind of maintain that bridge on both sides, that it was able to happen where you did come back?
Yeah, I think sometimes when transfers happen, there's some bad blood there. And I think that just speaks to the relationship that Coach Rule and I have, and that the relationship that I have with guys on the team and guys on the staff. I think really highly of this place, and I didn't leave necessarily in bad blood. So I think that made the transition and the opportunity to come back more real.
Awesome. Appreciate your time. And again, glad to see you back.
Yep. Thank you.
I just really enjoy Danny Kalin. It's so good to see him back. I said at the beginning, I told him at the training table, Camden, ding, when I saw him there, that it's so good to see him. But he's such a great interview. But that is kind of what's right about the transfer portal, that, hey, you leave to maybe find an opportunity, but then when it opens back up for you, you maintain that relationship so that the door's open for you to come back.
Yeah, the training tables aren't always greener on the other side. No, it's you can tell how much he's loved here. His best friends, I think he said Carter Nelson, Bodie Sukup are his 2 best friends. So coming back here, a place where he was a standout high school player, right down the road, and to get a chance to play for a head coach that really likes him and vice versa. It is a very, very incredibly rare story to leave a place. Jamarcus Lawrence.
Yeah,
right?
We had 2 of them this year.
It's rare, but we've had 2 of them in 2 of the big sports here on campus, which is really, really interesting. But he's a guy who's gonna fight for some reps here.
To me, I think that really speaks about the head coaches, because, I mean, Coach Rule has that conversation with players. Hey, this is where we stand, and this is kind of what we envision for you. He's very open and honest. And, I think it's the same thing with Coach Hoiberg, and then it kind of leaves the door open. If it's handled right, hey, you're welcome to come back. And I think that's how it should be done.
Yeah, especially with how things are done now with agents, and sometimes the relationships aren't necessarily broken off with the athlete and the coach. It's the middleman who kind of leaves a sour taste in that program's mouth. So the way that he left, it's clear that there was always a door open for him to come back. And he provides a different skill set, and also to step into a situation where there's a clear kind of 1 and 2 or 1 and 1A, with Anthony, and TJ kind of says a lot about him as a competitor and stepping into a situation where he's going to have to fight for everything he gets.
So, look, there's quarterback battle everywhere, battles across the board. But when you've been out to practice a couple of times, where do you think probably the most competitive battle is kind of taking place right now?
I think it's probably earning reps on, what does that defensive line look like? That's probably the easiest answer in terms of competition. I think there's guys lower on the running back depth chart that are trying to fight to kind of make a name for themselves a little bit. I think it's a big spring for Quentin Ives, not to be pigeonholed, say it's just a third and short guy. But
even like a guy like Connor Booth, like we talked about.
Yeah, Connor Booth. I remember I was floored with some of the reps he had during fall. When I would always see 23 just runs incredibly hard. They recruit these guys for a reason. They're high on Connor Booth, and there's a lot of names in that room. But I would say some of the guys that are kind of lower, Jamal Rule, obviously, but I think Quentin Ives, this is a chance for him to maybe move up the depth chart a little bit, and maybe that's a sneaky sort of competition in the running back room.
I was thinking that. So you read my mind there. I was going to go there. I think there's obviously some competitions in which there was last year because just the room and the talent they've been able to build the last couple of years in both in the corner and safety spot. I think there's just a lot of guys that are there and that have been kind of waiting their turn. But I think you point to that running back room and being that Emmett's gone. We knew Emmett was the guy going into last spring. Now, what Emmett's job, and I don't know if anybody imagined that Emmett would be what Emmett ended up being, but it was Emmett. Emmett was the guy. And so going into it, and we know the guys that are in that room, but how does that, how does it kind of shake out with the depth chart and who gets the carries and all of that? I mean, I think you've got a lot of guys that are kind of fighting to earn the leg up here in the spring.
Also, the edge position. Right, there's a lot of names in that room, blank slate with a new coach in that room. I look at the nickel position too. You're playing that 4-2-5. Who's that fifth defensive back that's on the field? Is it Jameer Khan, Jason Shiggs, who comes in, one of the newer transfers? Mario Buford, I know Coach Orich was really high on him in his first press conference, and that's another name that we sort of forgot about. He redshirted last year. We talked a lot about him in the fall, and then he wasn't a part of things, but I think that position, the kind of the nickel, the fifth DB position, is an area that's going to have a lot of competition to it.
All right, Husker fans, the Nebraska football spring game is back in Memorial Stadium. Don't miss your chance to get a first look at the 2026 Husker football team at the Nebraska football red and white spring game presented by FNBO on Saturday, March 28th. Tickets are on sale now and start at just $5. Act fast as the price of tickets goes up during the week of the game. To secure your tickets today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Got to get to a break. We're back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Now's the time to save on trucks at Woodhouse Chevy. Lease the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Cab 4x4 for $399 a month. Or save up to $10,000 off MSRP on retired courtesy 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500s when financed through dealer. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive. With approved credit, tax title license extra, $299 doc fee due at signing. Retired courtesy loaners. Qualifying trade-in of 2011 or newer vehicle. Lease for 39 months, 10,000 miles plus first payment. Finance based on manufacturer rebates. Expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Welcome back. Final segment here of hour number 1, Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks I'm Jessica Coody. Well, I guess we could start the basketball talk.
Do we have to? Last night was a tough night.
Yeah, it really was.
One, you know, it was a 10-15 tip, right? But it was one of those games that's like, all right, let's get going. It was another slow start, too. It's like, oh, here we go again. Another slow start, but they'll pick it up in the second half. They'll outscore UCLA by 20 in the second half. But this is their third top 10 win for UCLA. They don't lose at home. There was not a whole lot that was open last night. I mean, they gave zero space to Price. You couldn't get anything in the paint. You couldn't drive. You couldn't penetrate. Sometimes we want to make it so much about Nebraska, but UCLA, they came to play, man.
Yeah.
They had all the energy in the world defensively. They've been very up and down. I think Mick said that if I could have one team as my offensive team and then completely do a hockey line change and have another team as my defensive team, we'd be set. So he clearly was not happy with how they played defensively. They were about as good as you could get defensively.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, most people, just because of how good UCLA has been at home, have lost when they've taken that LA swing, that LA trip. You said it back in January when we're diagnosing the schedule that felt like potential to maybe drop one going on that trip.
My thing is everyone's losing around them. Right, Kansas, Texas Tech, right, got upset.
Oh, there's
multiple
floor. Upsets last night.
So you're looking at it, and it's like you want to think the sky's falling and all this, but everyone's losing around you.
Yeah.
Too. So you got to take that into account. It's
hard to win right now.
It's not a bad loss on the road. UCLA is there. They'll be a tournament team. Now you have a chance. Sunday should be fun, right? Because it's a get-back game.
Yeah.
It's a senior day game. The way Iowa played out was about as frustrating as it could get. You know, the fans yelling at Price, and then Fred's situation post game.
The officiating,
everything that
you can find me.
And then it's Nebraska and Iowa.
Yeah,
you don't even need any of that other stuff.
I will be curious. I think that the fans will be pretty juiced because we heard how awful they were to Price. And so I'll be curious. Your guys that you sit in front of every single game.
Student section.
I think they'll be ready to go.
Yeah. My thing is, and my big thing with that was I don't think Price was all that affected by it.
No.
Because it's just so normal. It's just part of college athletics. And dare I say, it's part of what makes it unique. It's special.
But I think it also speaks to, because, I mean, even Coach said when I asked him about Price, he said everything that he kind of had to battle through. So, I mean, even in the warm-ups, I think there were just, and I mean, yeah, you can tune it out.
Who has said that old quote? Was it Tyson? People don't boo nobodies.
Yeah.
It's because you're not a nobody.
Yeah.
So to me, take it as a compliment.
Yeah, but he was able to kind of tune it out, but it's still, I mean, I got to imagine like he played there, you go back there and, for him to still kind of battle through that. So I think they learned a lot from that game though, and will be able to hopefully be better this time around.
Yeah, it's, and it was a Reggie Jackson quote too. People don't boo nobodies. My biggest thing is, can we have a fast start, get the crowd into it, defensively, play with the energy, get Price going early, get him locked in. He'll be fired up once again. I think this is a unique situation where what goes around comes around. You're going to get Iowa again to end the regular season and get you on the right foot heading into the Big Ten tournament.
And again, still a chance to secure that triple bye.
Yep.
Would still be another big win. And yeah, so big opportunity coming up here at home to close out the season. Senior day, some incredible seniors. So, hey, we'll talk some more hoops coming up here on the other side of this. Kent had an awesome opportunity, Kent and Jeff, to chat with Tyronn Lue at halftime. We're going to replay that conversation here coming up for you next. Talk a little Husker baseball. They picked up another win today. And we're going to introduce you to Liz Sowers, the first head coach of Nebraska flag football, all coming up here in hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. Keep it here.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Once a year, a rhythm thunders across the countryside. It can't be tamed.
It can only be driven.
It's Ford Truck Month. Let's ride. These trucks, they haul, tow, and conquer everything in their path. So hold on tight and drive the Stampede.
The Stampede is running at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash on Super Duty.
Get to Ford Truck Month.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond. Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Well, it's been a busy day of Husker athletics as Nebraska baseball held on for a 5-4 win over South Dakota State this afternoon. Dylan Carey was a perfect 5 for 5 on the day with 3 singles and 2 doubles to go along with 2 RBIs. Speaking of Carey, he was also named to the Brooks Wallace Award watch list today. That award honors the nation's top shortstop. Nebraska women's basketball fell to Indiana earlier this afternoon, 72-69. The Hoosiers closed the game on a 12-2 run, while the Huskers went 1 for their last 7. Amaya Hargrove finished with a team-high 23 points, while Britt Prince added 20. The Big Red will await their fate on Selection Sunday on March 15th. And finally, shot putter Axelina Johansson was named Big Ten Women's Field Athlete of the Championships today. She claimed first place in the shot put at the Big Ten Championships. The next closest finisher was behind by more than a meter. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
38-35, Nebraska down by 3 points opening minute, second half. Here's Bryce Sanford, goes up to 3. Got it! Bang! 4-point play chance. Bryce Sanford with a quick trigger, nails the 3.
At top, Bojan with 8. Prince with 7, with 6. Top of the key fires, deep right side, Nisley for 3. You betcha! Off the assist from Britt Prince, a CDA 3 for Logan Nisley to end the first quarter.
It's flown out, Ribby double and grounded out to third. Also reached on a fielder's choice. Next to him, oh, that's a deep drive! Left field, off into the overnight! It's gone! 3-run bomb from Chesky. It's now 9-5 and perhaps the dagger in the 10th.
2 out in the top of the 6th. The 0-1 from Malin. And from lines it in right center field, down for a hit. Moore scores, Bacon around third. She will score 2. It's a 2-run single to right field. And Nebraska has a 4-3 lead on Oklahoma State in the 6th.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly. And we're finding out here in the last 30 minutes, we'll have 2 hours on Friday, probably, but we're not going to have a show tomorrow.
Don't tell me that.
You were all for this.
No. Well, here's what I do is I have my own show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not on a platform. I'll talk my sports. I just got to get it out.
Again, unfortunately with the women's basketball team losing, but fortunately, again, Husker softball's pretty good, and so we're going to be able to put them on the air.
Get a top 10 softball team on the air.
So they're back at home, at home opener tomorrow, so we'll be able to put them on the air tomorrow. So Nate Rowe are going to take over for us again.
And we're carrying both games, correct? 4 and 6?
Yep.
So you'll have both games of the double dip on the network tomorrow. So they deserve it.
Yes.
They are a top 10 team, and Rhonda's got them cooking. So enjoy it tomorrow.
Yep. So we will have that for you. All right. Wanted to go back to basketball because I think some people were panicking a little bit, but I don't think there's any need to panic. What I just thought was kind of weird, though, Kyle, that I wanted to get to, and I'm curious to talk to Fred about this tomorrow. We'll tape the TV show, actually our last one, because we'll do the final one after the season to kind of recap the year. But I thought it was weird how off they were. How many air balls were there? And this is just a team that doesn't miss like that.
Even free throws, Jess.
Yeah, it was weird how they're just better shooters than that. So it was just, and it wasn't like it was just, we saw Jamarcus airball, Price airballed, Braden airballed. It was weird.
It was not Braden's best day. It was not Jamarcus's best day. It was not Rink's best day. Kale gave them some pretty good minutes early. Sam gave them some good moments. And Price Sanford, they really had a number on him. There just was not a whole lot to get him going. You didn't have a field goal for the last 4+ minutes of the game. You shot only 39%, and you were only 5 of 24 from 3. Again, a lot of those looks were not open looks, and then you were 9 of 18 from the line. You turned it over 13 times, so you were 4 above your season average going in per game. Everything that could have gone wrong yesterday essentially went wrong, and you're just waiting for them, because they have been consistently a second-half team over the last month or so, that they were going to kick it into gear. And I think sometimes we tend to forget teams lay eggs throughout the year. This is a rare team that hasn't laid many, if any, eggs, right? Their losses have been close losses, have been, you think of Illinois, Purdue, where they laid eggs in the first half and then they fought back in the second half to make it a game. They should have beat Purdue on their home floor. The Iowa game, they came back and it was a nail-biter towards the end. This was one of those 40-minute eggs that everybody lays, and I think everyone's a little shocked at it because we haven't seen it all year.
Yeah, well, and again, just maybe some of the players that you expect to be playing better, not playing their best. But I also think you have to keep in mind that, and I brought this up, I mean, UCLA probably going into it was in the NCAA tournament, but you never know if they lay a couple eggs, that they're one of the last few Big Ten teams in, from what I saw, kind of reading up going into it. So you've got kind of desperate teams at this point that are kind of dangerous to play, and not to mention how good they've been at home. And that team that if UCLA, they're pretty athletic, and if they're clicking, I mean, they're going to be probably a team that are going to be a little bit of a nightmare for some teams to play in the NCAA tournament if they play like that.
Yeah, Perry, Daly. I mean, two of the guys that stand out in the job that Clark did defensively on Sanford. And when you go up, and they have talented guards. They have talented players. It's a team that defensively, again, has been so Jekyll and Hyde all year. You don't know what you're going to get, to the point of frustration for Mick Cronin and what he said about the team. And for them to put together the display they did defensively, a lot of credit has to go to them. We want to, this guy didn't play this potential, this guy didn't do this. Well, sometimes, the other guys scout too, and the other guys watch film, and they put together game plans, and UCLA just outplayed them last night. And then you're going to have those games in a long marathon of a season, but you got to turn the page now. You're going to get back. I'm sure they got back today. I think they flew back the next morning, and they got back today. And you're not going to play till Sunday. So you have a lot of time off to get ready for Iowa, get your legs underneath you, and a lot of guys have to now lock in for this home. They need Jamarcus Lawrence. They need Braden Frager to play to their absolute best. They need Rick Mass to play to what he was playing early in Big Ten play. For them to do what they want to do, because you play a game like that in round one of the NCAA tournament, that's I think what fans get scared about, right? Because if you lay that proverbial egg in round one of the NCAA tournament against a 13 seed, you might not come out on the winning side of it.
Steve on the text line said UCLA is a 21 team. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm not panicking. I saw a lot of panic, and I've heard a lot of panic throughout the day.
That's just fandom, and I respect that.
Yeah, I think this is a veteran group enough that I feel like they will get it together, right? I mean, it's like you said, you're kind of due to have a bad night a little bit, and UCLA is a team that has played very well at home. They've lost one time at home, and they've beat some very good teams at home. And I think it's a group that they know what it takes. They've beat some really good teams. They know how to put it all together. So I'm not ready to hit the panic button as much as I've kind of seen it today, which I was a little surprised. I guess I was surprised that people were as panicked. I guess because of how maybe poorly the performance was, and that it ended up being as lopsided as it was. Maybe
I think a lot of people are heightened because they're trying to hold on to hope of OKC and a 3 seed or a 2 seed, that anything that doesn't go their way, there's more panic that sets in because they're having a season that they have not had in a very, very long time. So the thought of their picture-perfect Oklahoma City or St. Louis first, second round opportunity in a loss like that, losses, they tend to hurt the opportunity to have that perfect sort of postseason. So I get it. It's not the first time that fans react that way after a bad loss, and that's what it was. It was a bad loss from start to finish. I'm not happy with the amount of times I yelled at my television last night at 11 Central, waking up my neighbors, where just saying like, and it's like after the missed free throws, even late when the game was out of hand. I think it was Lawrence at the line. He missed 2 free throws. It's just like they can't throw the ball into the ocean off the pier.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But that is basketball.
Yeah. So coming up on Sunday is senior day. I was thinking about this too. Long way to go for this team, right? They got the Big Ten tournament and then hopefully a run in the NCAA tournament. But I wonder what it's going to be like for the Hoiberg family and going into this with Sam? You know, like and coach who has to do this every year, and this is a special team for him. But now you're kind of dad on senior day too.
Dad,
it's
not necessarily coach. There's a little more emotion that goes into that. I think the fans will be more emotional
I know.
than anything when it comes to Sam. The number of tweets that I saw saying, you know, the last time we're going to see Sam at PBA is that Sunday against Iowa. I think he might get the loudest ovation, even if they win that game going away and how loud it could be beating Iowa. I think the loudest ovation on Sunday is going to be when Sam Hoiberg is honored for senior day.
A little interesting again schedule, and Coach Hoiberg has kind of made it known. A little frustrating with they had to take the day off and travel and all that. So they'll get prepared and ready to go. But I think it'll be a pretty hungry group coming out on Sunday.
Hungry. I know the crowd will be hungry.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully getting some chicken.
That's right, breaking for chicken. Camden enjoyed that yesterday.
Yes.
That was the women's game chicken on senior day. So hopefully some more people can get some free lunch. I'll tell you this, that the crowd has been treated to some incredible environments, some incredible games, some incredible experiences. So for one last time in PBA with this group, this is going to go down as one of the best teams in Nebraska basketball history. And your last, for a lot of these fans, their last chance to see him is on Sunday.
Well, hey, Tyronn Lue was actually in attendance last night at UCLA, the head coach for the Clippers. And, of course, Kent Pavelka and Jeff Smith were able to pull him aside at halftime and do a little conversation. And we wanted to replay it for you here tonight on Sports Nightly.
Tyronn Lue has joined us. What a treat. Man, I had a lot to ask you and tell you, but one thing I wanted to tell you is I hope you understand the love and the pride people have all about you since you played and even to today, and how you've represented the university and continue to reflect on the university.
Oh, thank you very much. And I had the same love and respect as well. You know, I don't get back as much as I want to, but me and Freddie talk all the time.
You're a little busy.
Yeah, but I still talk to Fred all the time. We text and, talk on the phone. And so very supportive of what he's done, what he's been able to do. This team has been phenomenal all year, and just happy to see, like you said, Nebraska just playing well right now.
Do you enjoy coming to other games out of your realm and just watching college basketball?
Yeah, I do. I love coming to college games. When Bronny was at USC, I came to a lot of games, came here for a lot of games. And actually, UCLA played our arena a couple times in the Intuit Dome, so I went there because Robert Ory's son played on the UCLA's team. So I love coming out and supporting anytime I can.
Can you believe it's been almost 30 years?
And you look the same. You look great. You look great, Kent. Hey, I can't believe it's been 30 years. And me and Cookie was just talking about it and seeing T. Buchanan. It's just crazy how time flies. But it's been great. It's been a great ride.
I remember that kid from Mexico, Missouri. That I do claim that I helped recruit you a little bit.
You did, Smitty. You did.
Claim to fame.
You did. You definitely did.
But, yeah, well, you said you've watched Nebraska a little bit. You like their movement. And Fred's obviously a really good offensive coach.
Great. I wish we could run in the NBA, but we don't have enough time, But he has a lot of great sets, a lot of good movement sets. The guys are very fundamental. They play the right way. They know who they're playing through. And it's been a hell of a season. So I'm very happy for Fred and just the team he's been able to recruit, finally getting this kind of guys in here. So it's been unbelievable.
So you're not as put off in the first half as maybe I feel right now.
Oh, no. It's two halves to the game. They had a couple turnovers early, but, they've got great shots. They've gotten great shots. If you don't make shots, it's hard to win. But they've gotten great shots. They play the right way. And just shots didn't fall yet, but they'll fall in the second half.
Yeah, we're very excited about this team. We think they're going to break into that NCAA tournament win column, baby.
Yeah. We need to win.
You were going to do it.
I know. We had a chance, but we didn't do it. But this team has a really good chance.
They're built for it.
Yes.
I know Braden Frager's struggling tonight a little bit, but he's a dynamic freshman, and we're built for it. I really think we can get it done with the right matchup.
I think so, too.
Yeah. You can see the talent, right?
Oh, yeah, talent's there. The coach is there. Everything's there. They've been doing it all year, and so you're not going to play great every night, but if you play hard, you play the right way, you do the right things defensively, you do the right things offensively, you can live with the results, and so they're doing everything right. Just they're not making shots tonight and had a couple turnovers.
Let me ask you, what drives you now? You've won NBA championships as a player, as a coach. Olympics. What motivates you? What drives you?
The motivation, I think, comes from now, like just getting young guys that you can reach, you can teach them how to be professional on and off the court. And then when they get better and better, like guys like Jordan Miller and Kobe Sanders, our young guys, and just how they've been able to progress. That just says a lot about coaching and our player development staff. And when you see those young guys put work in and they finally get it and they start playing well, it's really good to see.
Yeah, we got to come to your game the other night.
I'm mad about that. I'm
unbelievable.
Mad. You didn't tell me
It'll
it was
never
coming.
happen again. I'm sorry.
Please don't do it again. Whatever y'all need, I got you.
Well, all right, I love it.
It's such a treat to see you, and thanks for coming by, man.
No, it's great. It's great to see y'all as well, always.
Maybe another 30 years from now.
30 years, I know. No, can't be 30 years, but I got to get back more. I've been talking about it, but I love the program. I love you guys. I love Nebraska, how they welcome you with open arms, and it's been great.
We are proud of you. Your record is unbelievable, and like I said, I watched you coach. You have such great poise, and you can tell that you're a player's coach. They love playing for you. You can tell that.
Fred's the same way.
Yeah, you're a great teacher.
Yeah, he's very poised.
Yeah.
Guys make mistakes. He's not going crazy on the sideline.
I agree. So. You two are very similar on the sideline. We talked about that at your game.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You're not going crazy and panicking. Your players are not going to panic and go crazy, So, staying off the referees and officials, let your team play through mistakes, and he's great at it.
Going crazy, leave that to the radio guy.
Leave it to you, kid.
Yeah. Thanks a million.
No, thank you very much. It's great seeing y'all.
Oh, Tyronn Lue joining Kent Pavelka and Jeff Smith last night at halftime. How fun was that?
Cool. He's a huge part of the history for Nebraska basketball, and it was unfortunate he wasn't able to come back for Alumni Weekend. The thought was he would be one of the guys because it was All-Star Weekend. He'd get a chance to come back to Lincoln, one of those rare opportunities for him in a hectic schedule. So I'm sure that was awesome for you. You could tell in their voices it was great for Kent and Jeff Smith to catch up.
All right, going to get you a break. Coming up next, we're going to introduce you to the new head coach of Nebraska flag football, Liz Sowers. Keep it here on Sports Nightly. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Get behind the wheel of America's favorite truck from Woodhouse Ford. Lease the Ford F-150 Super Crew for $389 a month for 36 months and 7,500 miles per year. First payment and $299 dock fee due at signing. Or save up to $15,000 off MSRP. Shop Woodhouse Ford online or in-store in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth today. With approved credit, security deposit waived, tax, title, license extra. Vehicle is a retired courtesy loan. Offers expire March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Born with power, tested by time. It's Ford Truck Month. Woo! And this is Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. Hop in and drive the Stampede.
Get $6,750 cash or 0 for 60 with 0 down and no payments for 90 days, plus $1,000 cash on F-150.
Get to Ford Truck Month.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Find a truck that's ready for any task at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Crew Cab 4x4. Visit us in-store or shop online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit, must own and trade in a 2012 or newer vehicle. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. Offer expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Well, it was about a month ago that the historic news was announced that Nebraska would be adding flag football as the latest sport here on campus and the first Power 4 school to name that sport. And so, again, trailblazing the way for women's sports. And then last week, it was named that it was Liz Sowers that will be the head coach for Husker flag football, the first head coach. And so she is a decorated coach already in the sport. And recently I had a chance to chat with her about being named the coach and what her plans are in taking over and building the program here at Nebraska. Congratulations. What an exciting time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, first of all. I feel like this is truly a dream, and I'm excited, to show Husker Nation what flag football is all about. I don't think that anyone has any idea what they're in for.
How does that sound? I mean, has it sunk in for you that when you say the head coach of Nebraska flag football?
I don't think it's sunk in yet. I know when I told my mom, she was just like, oh my God. She was so excited and couldn't believe it. And I think I feel the same way. Flag football has been around for a while, and it is an extremely exciting sport that gets a lot of attention pretty quickly. And I think that Husker Nation has truly no idea what they're in for, but it couldn't be a better community to have this sport, a community that supports its athletes, whether it loves football, women's sports, you've got the volleyball team, softball, everything. But you put the most exciting parts of the game of football and then the volleyball team, and you've got flag football.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I guess just take us through the process, right? I mean, you are the head coach at Ottawa University and have won multiple national championships, but just when the process kind of starts, and I know there's a big push from the NFL, and when Nebraska decides to add this sport, what sparked your interest and how the process went for you?
Yeah, so, first of all, flag football is not the female version of football. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important for people to understand. I grew up playing basketball. My dad was a women's college basketball coach. So I always thought I'm going to be a basketball coach. I played tackle football with the boys, down the street, always loved the game, but there was never a place for me in that sport. And then, I realized I didn't want to coach basketball. I was just kind of going through the motions at that point. And when I found tackle football originally, playing for a team in Michigan, that was when I truly found what I loved. Basketball to me was just something I did. And then through tackle, I found flag and then realized just how big that game was. The flag football world is huge internationally. I played for the national team, and we won the first gold in Panama with a packed crowd. And I remember looking around thinking, this is the coolest atmosphere I've ever been a part of. And opportunity opened at Ottawa to coach flag football, and it's been a dream ever since.
Wow. So then when Nebraska opens, what about, just the conversations with Troy Dannon and, what led you to want to take on this and starting the program here at Nebraska?
Yeah, I think it's been extremely important for me to make sure, these young ladies have been playing flag football at the highest level. And until this point, they haven't had the opportunity, to get a scholarship to play. They've been in huge school debt and things like that. And so that's been extremely important for me as I go on to this next level of, coaching at Nebraska, to have that opportunity to give them a chance to, get a scholarship and do what they love at the same time. There's nothing that compares to that. And Nebraska is at that top level, and it can give so much support, more so than just the scholarship, but the community and the engagement is finally what these players deserve.
Again, mentioned it, but 5-time national champion there at Ottawa University. What have you done that has led to that success there at Ottawa that you feel like you could maybe transfer and implement here at Nebraska too that will carry over? Yeah, I think that the program that we've built at Ottawa from the beginning, it's, my idea is that this is the gold standard of flag football. And my intention is that Nebraska will be the gold standard of flag football. Everything that we do, both on and off the field, is to the best of our ability, no matter what it is. And I think it starts with that and starts with that culture and those right players in place. And Nebraska has everything else that you need. You've got to get the right players in place and build that gold standard for flag football. Wow. Well, and your sister Katie is coming along as your associate head coach. Fans might remember her as the first female to be on an NFL staff and coach in the Super Bowl. But tell us about her and how important she is to this transition for you taking on this role here at Nebraska. I mean, back in 2020, 21 is when that first year that I was coaching, and she was with the 49ers at that time. And I remember she came to a practice and she just fell in love with the game. And then when she was able to be added onto our staff at Ottawa, she brought everything that we needed. Her experience with such great football minds and just how practice is run and just the organization as a whole, everything that she learned, she was able to bring to us at Ottawa. And it's been priceless. So you were the defensive coordinator for the USA Women's National Team in 2023. Are you more of the defensive minded coach? I'm actually the offensive coordinator. Okay. But I think it's been extremely important for my growth as a coach to be able to call both sides of the ball. I don't think that you can be an efficient offensive play caller if you don't understand defense, and vice versa. And, growing up and playing tackle football, I was always the wide receiver. Katie was always the defensive player. So she's the defensive coordinator for us, and I'm the offensive coordinator. And it's living a dream where, every day we get to go out to practice and play call against each other every single day. Does it get pretty competitive? Oh, yeah. Okay, so where, you had talked about you played basketball, you played in college. It was something that you did, but you didn't love it. You love football. Where did that love for football start for you? I mean, how did you kind of that initial love for the game, where did that begin for you? I think for me, it began, it was a Christmas maybe when we were 8 years old, and our dad coached women's college basketball. And I remember he brought home old pads and a helmet from the football team. I guess they got new uniforms. And that was the best Christmas present I have ever received in my entire life. And it was probably the cheapest, honestly. It was probably free. But I remember we just went out in our pads and helmet, and we would just play one-on-one in the backyard. And you probably don't ever see that, but it was just something that we
we really loved from the beginning. And now able to do it for a profession.
So I think, some people might be interested because you've been a part of it for a while as a coach, as a player. How has the growth of flag football, how much has it exploded, especially here over the last few years?
It's huge, and then with it being added into the Olympics in 2028, there is finally a path for young girls, especially, to be able to, look at a sport and say, hey, I can do that, and that can be me. And not only can it get me an education, but I can go potentially win a gold medal and things like that. Football is one of the only sports for Christmas. It's weird, if a little girl gets a football. It's not weird for a basketball, although it was a while ago. But football is still that, stereotypical man's game. And flag football is changing that. And it's allowing, all backgrounds, all types of people to play this game and really connect on a love for the game.
So tell us about recruiting. I think fans would be interested to hear about that. You kind of recruit everywhere, and it's huge internationally too, right?
Yeah, so my current roster at Ottawa has been primarily Florida, Vegas, Canada, Panama, Spain, you name it. There's so many all around the country, let alone the world. But I don't forget about those states like Kansas, for example, that's still in the phase of adding flag. And I know Nebraska is in that same situation. But for me, it's not just about the flag football background. You show me the best high school basketball team in the state, and that's your best flag football player. Flag football team in general. And I would put money on that. But there is so many opportunities. And just because a young lady has been, pushed out of the game or denied an opportunity to this point, that would not continue with us necessarily. There are so many skills that translate.
So, because I was going to ask you about this, because I know it's huge in California, and as it continues to grow across the United States, if a young girl is wanting to get involved and it's not in their state yet as a high school sanctioned sport, how can they get involved and potentially chase a scholarship to play flag football if it's not something that they can play in high school?
There's so many travel teams all around. Texas is one state, for example, that has so many club teams, but no high school support. And there are so many NFL flag tournaments all around. My advice to those young ladies would be to find that nearest tournament, and you'll find one near you. That's for sure.
So it's been pretty cool the last couple of years here. Matt Rule and his staff have put on a flag football camp or a girls camp for young girls across the state to be able to come, because they have the camp circuit, and it's just been neat to see the number of girls that have been interested in the game. And you want to talk about somebody that's fired up for flag football to be here is Matt Rule. How exciting is that too? Just the support that I'm sure you're going to continue to feel as you implement this program, but there's a lot of people fired up for you to take on this program.
Yeah, it's huge. And just seeing, Coach Rule with his comments on supporting the game, I think it starts there at that highest level, to just make it known that he supports something. I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding on flag football oftentimes. And, he's got daughters that play, and he wants to see those opportunities for them to be able to play. And there's so much support just in the community, and to see Matt Rule, and he sent me a text congratulating me, and it means a lot.
That's really cool. So if fans are kind of curious about the game, what do they need to know? What is it like? And I'm sure you can turn on YouTube and watch some highlights, but if you're trying to get somebody that is not very familiar with the game interested in flag football, what would you say? What would be your spiel?
Yeah, I would say that it's 7-on-7 in the college game. It's all the exciting things of football combined into a quick game. You know, we play on an 80-yard field, 40 yards across. There's, everyone goes crazy when the Chiefs or Travis Kelce does a lateral or some sort of pitching, and that's what we do all the time. I have a rugby background. Our drills have added rugby. It's the exciting part of football, and I think people are going to be excited to see it.
So what's next now then, as you, I know you're going to finish out the season there at Ottawa and then make the move here to Lincoln, but what's the process? How do you go about the next steps here as you take over the program?
Yeah, I mean, finishing out here at Ottawa is the first step, and closing that chapter, and then doing it all over again at Nebraska, and building a program and something that's going to last for a really long time. Building that team is where it starts, and I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to bring flag football to Nebraska.
Awesome. Well, fantastic stuff. I'm so excited. Can't wait for you to get here on campus, but I know you guys have business to take care of there at Ottawa University as you pursue a 6th national title. But best of luck to you as you close out your season, and we are looking forward to you and Katie being here on campus and starting flag football here in Lincoln.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Kyle, I was blown away. I was super impressed. And just talking with her even outside of the interview, she's passionate about growing the game and educating, and is super patient and wants to make sure that, hey, whatever you guys need me to do, you want me to break down X's and O's and all of that. But she wants to win. You want to talk about a competitor. And she's coming here to continue winning national titles. Yeah. And she wouldn't come here if she didn't believe, because the game's going to grow. And there's going to be opportunities, and she wouldn't come here if she didn't believe like that would continue for her.
I have a feeling that this is, no matter how many jobs there are out there, that this is the best coach on the market, right? And Nebraska is getting the early jump at the best possible hire that you could get in this sport. Nebraska is going to be a step ahead of everybody else that decides to eventually hop on what is going to be the bandwagon for flag football. There's going to be a lot of power for universities and athletic departments that add flag football and see the value. It's one of the NCAA voted it as one of the rising sports. So it's just going to continue to grow like all the other women's athletics sport, that we have here on campus. But flag football, it's new, it's incredibly popular, and it's got the backing of the NFL. We had Troy Vincent Sr., who's the number 2 in command at the NFL, on the show with Troy Dannon last month. And they're fully behind it. And if you don't think that's a big deal, then you have another thing coming. The NFL has their full and kind of tentacles behind everything that they're doing.
And Kyle has already started producing and putting together the broadcast to be able to broadcast.
We'll get to make sure we get a radio log and format ready to go. I don't know if we'll do a 4-hour pregame show. We'll have to work that through with Damon Benning. Make sure he's available.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it solo, though. I don't know if Ben will be available.
All right. Got to get to a break. We're back with more for Sports Nightly coming up right after this.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
It's another new year and another exciting edition of the Nebraska Lottery's popular Cash Blast promotion. You know how it works. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. And if your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is double. So start out your 2026 with a bang. Enter the Cash Blast promotion today. 2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Born with power. Tested by time. It's Ford Truck Month. Woo! And this is Ford F-150. Part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. Hop in and drive the Stampede.
Get $6,750 cash or 0 for 60 with 0 down and no payments for 90 days, plus $1,000 cash on F-150.
Get to Ford Truck Month.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. And should mention also, huge shout out to Jamie Hagedorn, who was a big part of bringing and implementing Husker flag football. And she was actually the Husker Employee of the Month, got the big belt. Was it yesterday?
It might have been yesterday or 2 days ago. I think it might have been yesterday.
So, and Troy Dannon had said, how big of an undertaking it's been. And she's the sport administrator now for flag football. So she was actually the one that was kind of emailing me to set up the interview and with Keith Mann. So, wanted to make sure and mention Jamie, and again, a former basketball player here who has now been a huge part of this athletics department for a long time and will be a huge part of flag football and implementing that sport here at Nebraska.
I can't imagine how much work goes into creating a sport from scratch, right? You're not creating the actual sport, but bringing it to the athletic department. The amount of clearance it takes and the parameters of not just the roster, the coaching staff, facilities.
You look stressed out just talking about it.
I know, because it's just like, don't put me in charge of anything like that.
This is a pretty interesting text we got.
I'll be the judge of that.
Mark texted in, and so going back to our conversation about the men and how we had talked about kind of seeing a little bit of stress after the game last night. He said, not worried about the men. I think they'll beat Iowa this weekend. After that, it's a crapshoot in the Big Ten tournament. The women are a different story. They need to beef up that roster before next season. We have talked about that. You have to remember, Natalie Potts, Allison Widener, have not been available. They expected to have those two going into this year. Also, they've got really heck of a trio coming in next year. And they'll also tap into the transfer portal as well. So there's that. And again, they've done enough to potentially still even be in the NCAA tournament. They are a bubble team. They're absolutely a bubble team, but it's not out. They're not out of it. So we'll continue to watch some of the other teams that are also on bubble watch. But they have kind of done enough to also kind of put themselves still to be in that conversation. But his question is, can anyone on the women's side compete with UCLA in the Big Ten tournament? And again, thanks, Mark, for that question.
I would say no. I think UCLA is probably, outside of UConn, probably is going to win a national championship.
Here is my only thing is because I think they've pretty much locked in number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. And sometimes you see maybe teams, hey, they've already won the regular season Big Ten, right? Maybe you save your legs and you don't, you don't go all in to win another tournament title. You see that a lot. Maybe not as much in the women's side, but you see it on the men's side. I
get the premise of it because you don't want to play more games. You don't want to hurt your legs. But again, you'll have that week in between, right? Until the NCAA tournament. If you're a player, you want to win it. If there's a chance to win a trophy, if you think of it from their perspective, if you have a chance to win a regular season tournament and national championship, that's something nobody can ever take away from you. Not winning, having those 3 boxes that you go into every single year of, okay, our first goal is to win the regular season, then it's to win the tournament, then it's to win the tournament. If you could do all 3, I mean, that's a forever season.
Crypto on the chat says, how do we nominate Kyle or y'all for Employee of the Month?
I put my name in the hat just by myself.
Kyle's not positive enough to be Employee of the Month.
Yeah, let's just give it to Josh Hilkeman and move on. Let's just have Josh wear the belt 24/7, 365.
If we had a belt, it would be permanently on Josh.
Just the HRN belt. Just have him carry it around like he's Hulk Hogan and we're good.
Maybe when he goes on paternity leave, we give it to Camden.
Yes. Either one of those two I'm good with.
Oh, hey, Husker fans, make your plans now. Kyle is making his plans now, too, to attend one of the most exciting events in Nebraska sports this year when the Big Red play host to the Big Ten Men's Gymnastics Championships at Pinnacle Bank Arena April 3rd and 4th, 7 p.m. Get your all-session tickets now through Ticketmaster for just $15. That's a huge opportunity.
Do it. It is big. We had Coach Shemelka in here not too long ago. He was talking about that being in the pretty close future here, about having the chance to host Big Ten Men's Gymnastics at PBA. I think they'll get a pretty big crowd out there. It's the most athletic thing that you'll see all year. I can promise you that.
All right. Gonna get you a break. We're back to wrap up the show
said,
next.
Okay.
I was thinking.
All right.
We're back to wrap up the show next.
It's another new year and another exciting edition of the Nebraska Lottery's popular Cash Blast promotion. You know how it works. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. And if your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So start out your 2026 with a bang. Enter the Cash Blast promotion today. 2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Final segment here for us. And Kyle, big win for Husker baseball today. It was the Dylan Carey show.
Incredible. First time since 2018 that a Husker has had 5 hits in a game. He's just had, I think he's hitting now over 500 for the season. And he's somebody coming in. He wants to set his resume for the chance to play at the next level, and boy, has he done that. I mean, he's off to one of the best starts that you'll see of any hitter in the country. And South Dakota State those are tricky midweek games, like we said yesterday. Sometimes you sort of take those opponents for granted, and we've seen them struggle at times in midweek games. You had the early lead. You coughed it up. It was a tie game late. You were able to get it back with a Dylan Carey double. He's now one away from tying Will Bolt's doubles record, so he's about to pass the skip and Will Bolt, and they always joke about that. And Manel, who is their closer coming in, went through his struggles, and he's looked good over the last 2 times he's been to the mound. So all things good here on this. So 2 games into a 9-game homestand, and then you're going to start 3 games against Michigan State starting on Friday.
Yeah, so I was going to say that. So 2 o'clock first pitch on Friday. Are we concerned at all about weather? Have you become a weather expert? I feel like if you're calling baseball games, you need to probably get up to date on how to
now
track the weather.
Friday is supposed to be incredibly warm, but it's supposed to rain. That's a 1:30 first pitch. That's probably one of those days that you don't need to have that earlier start because it's actually supposed to be kind of warm. Saturday, 53 and sunny, and then Sunday is going to be a day you want to get out all 3 days. Who knows if it's a doubleheader on Saturday, but if you can get out to the ballpark on Sunday, it's supposed to be 70 and sunny. You're going to get a tan. You're going to get a tan going out to the ballpark. And then you have softball's home this weekend too, right?
Softball is also home this weekend. So coming up tomorrow, we've got a doubleheader with South Dakota State. So 4 and 6. And as we mentioned, we weren't sure going into this week what our scheduling would be with basketball and all of that. But unfortunately with the loss, but fortunately, we are going to be able to put softball on the air tomorrow. So Nate Rohr will be on for us calling those 2 games. And again, you want to talk about a fun team. And I've just really enjoyed watching this team. And Alexis Jensen has been, she's been so fun. And what she's added, the element that she's added to Jordy Ball. And I think she's brought a lot of fun, her personality, but just a lot of talent and a senior class that is going to go down in history. And, again, with what the schedule is and because they had to go on the road so much, just not a whole lot of opportunities to see them at home, but it starts coming up this weekend and starting tomorrow. So a home opener to get out and see this team. That's, as we've talked so much about, a special season that has started and will continue.
It's unfortunate they didn't play that 3rd game against Oklahoma State. Would have loved to have seen that game be played. Whatever the case was, obviously with travel and there's the drop-dead times and things like that. I know they were dealing with weather, I think, in Stillwater. So it's unfortunate they didn't get a chance to play that game and won't make that up. But Big Ten plays right around the corner for them. I believe they start out with Michigan, right? Is that their first Big Ten?
Yeah, so again, Saturday, Sunday is Omaha. So 2 o'clock on Saturday, Sunday 2 o'clock. So, and then that next week is Michigan. And again, that's also at Bowling Stadium.
It's usually one of the better teams in the Big Ten. They're poised to kind of run through it, right? There's nobody outside of UCLA that they're going to see in the Big Ten that they are not prepared for. And so they're a team that has full consideration and has the full attention of the league that they're going to win the thing. Yeah. And they want to set themselves up. The goal is to be a super regional host. For me, if they're not in the top 8, I'm probably pretty surprised.
To me, I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head. At this point, you've done enough. You've done what you're supposed to do in the non-con. Now you got to take care of business.
Now you just got to beat up on teams and get a gaudy record.
You just got to take care of business and do what you're supposed to do in the Big Ten. And you got an opportunity against UCLA coming up, but outside of that, you got to handle business.
And how the pitching rotation then shakes out. Is it Jordy on Friday, Sunday, Alexis on Saturday? How do you pitch Alexis certain series twice in a weekend? How does Rhonda situate her pitching for a conventional 3-game series? We will wait to find out more when Michigan comes up.
All right, so again, Husker softball on the air, so that will give us the boot. So Nate Rohr will be on your airwaves coming up tomorrow starting 4 o'clock. For Husker softball, the first of 2 games, doubleheader here tomorrow against South Dakota State. And then Husker baseball on the air at 1:30 for pregame coming up on Friday against Michigan State. We are scheduled to have a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly coming up on Friday.
You can't keep us off the air too long.
But stay tuned. We'll see. Who knows? We fly by the seat of our pants this time of the year.
That's right.
All right, so that's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody. Made this happen. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The Honda Accord from Woodhouse Honda is more than just a reliable sedan. It's your everyday upgrade. Lease the 2025 Honda Accord LX for $199 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Shop in-store or online at woodhousehonda.com today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, security deposit waived, $3,000 down plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GH250127. Offer expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
It's another new year and another exciting edition of the Nebraska Lottery's popular Cash Blast promotion. You know how it works. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. And if your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So start out your 2026 with a bang. Enter the Cash Blast promotion today. 2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Once a year, a rhythm thunders across the countryside. It can't be tamed.
It can only be driven.
It's Ford Truck Month. Let's ride. These trucks, they haul, tow, and conquer everything in their path. So hold on tight and drive the Stampede.
The Stampede is running at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000